Mario Kart World and Switch 2 launched a little bit ago, and man, I have been having so much fun with them. The game is so far in my top 3 Mario Karts, and I love that it takes so many risks for being a Mario Kart game. Obviously, you've got the interconnected tracks, and the whole open world, and even a bunch of new gameplay changes, which so far I've found pretty enjoyable. Since I've been enjoying it so much, I thought today I could talk about my thoughts and feelings about the game as a whole, since I'm not going to be able to get out that Grand Prix ranking out until next week, and then finally get that Child Dungeon video after that because I'm lazy and all I do is slack off. The plan for this video is just to get my thoughts on every aspect of the game that I've tried out, and maybe even compare it to other Mario Kart games. This is by far the Mario Kart game that's changed the formula the most, and while I like a lot of it, there are definitely some parts that I would change. Let's go ahead and start with what I think is the biggest downgrade from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and that's the battle mode. Unlike that game, which had 5 different battle modes being Balloon Battle, Coin Runners, Bob-omb Blast, Renegade Roundup, and Shine Thief, Mario Kart World says, hey, we're gonna take all the fun modes and just leave Balloon Battle and Coin Runners. I don't really hate Balloon Battle that much, but man, Coin Runners blows donkey balls, and the 3 modes they removed were the absolute best ones, so that makes me not want to play Battle Mode at all. On top of all that, the tracks here suck too. They did the Mario Kart 8 and put some actual tracks as the battle mode maps. Now I know that there are 24 racers now and you need to have some bigger maps, but couldn't you, I don't know, maybe just design some all new tracks and make them at least good, please? Okay, that's kind of a lie. I do like Dino Jungle a decent bit, but that's because it's actually a decently designed map since it's small and most importantly, has dinosaurs on it. I'm just a little disappointed that the battle mode isn't nearly as good as the last one, and that I'm probably not going to play it nearly as much as I played Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's. Well, next up, let's go ahead and get the whole open world out of the way, and oh boy is this one a really mixed bag. First off, I think it is such a cool idea to have an entire interconnected map with every single track in the game, and I hope for the DLC they get to expand upon that or even make an entirely different map. Unfortunately, there is not too much to do in this massive world. All there are a bunch of random quick challenges to complete and nothing of much substance to be found. It can be fun to just drive around and listen to the absolutely banging songs that play though. I know while obviously there could be a whole lot more here, but in all honesty, I think a bunch of people set their expectations way too high. I mean, what are they supposed to put on this map besides a few challenge things? Yeah, I know that maybe they shouldn't have made it as big of a deal as they made it out to be, but I mean, come on, what does an open world Mario Kart mode need other than some quick challenges everywhere? Plus there's a really cool secret where if you go to Peach Stadium and enter through the stained glass, the entire world becomes mirrored. That is such a cool Easter egg, and man, does it just fit that Nintendo charm so well. I'm not going to sit here and glaze the open world for being what I thought it would end up being, but honestly I don't think a lot of the criticisms that it's facing are valid. I mean, complain all you want, I don't care, it's your opinion and you should be entitled to it, but I guess it also helps that I usually set my expectations lower for stuff most of the time. Overall though, I think the open world mode is a decent turn your brain off and drive around kind of thing, and I can see myself going in and playing it from time to time for a little while. Before we finally hop into the Grand Prix Cups, we gotta quickly talk about the new mode that got added, Knockout Tours. Just like in Grand Prix, there are 8 different cups, each with different tracks, but instead of the normal tracks in the game, each cup has the intermission tracks as their tracks. In order to progress through the cup, you have to finish in a certain place or higher each track, and if you don't, you'll be eliminated. It goes all the way to a Final Four, and let me just say that I think this concept absolutely rules. I can't believe they haven't thought of something like this sooner because man, does this add so much more playtime for Mario Kart. When I get bored of the normal Mario Kart style, I can just switch over to Knockout Tour and show each and every one of these bums who the greatest Mario Kart racer in the world is. It's me, by the way, if you couldn't figure it out. The concept alone is enough to make this mode fun, but honestly I don't have a lot else to say. I like it a lot, and I hope that if there's DLC, Knockout Tour will also get some great content for me to consume. I would talk about Time Trials mode, but I never spent too much time in that because I'm awful at speedrunning, so let's take a quick detour over to the Classic Versus mode. This is where I usually spend most of my time when I play Mario Kart games, as it's easy to just pick up a couple of tracks to quickly race through. Versus mode is going to get so much more use this time around for me, especially because of the fact that you can race on every track normally like how you could in previous Mario Kart games. I like that even with the new transition tracks and how Grand Prix mode is, don't worry, we'll get to that, the devs still made a way to play the tracks normally along with being able to play through every single transition track. I wasn't expecting to actually be able to race from tracks that aren't connected via Grand Prix mode, but hey, I'm not going to complain about all that content. The one big downside about Versus mode compared to Mario Kart 8 is that they took away custom items. Like, come on, what is all of that, Nintendo? I mean, this one actually makes me really mad, and yeah, they might have just done this so that it was harder to unlock the miscellaneous characters with the Kamek item, but I mean, who cares? I can always dream of them adding custom items in a future update, but this is Nintendo we're talking about, so it's pretty likely that they won't, and if they do, it'll be 4 years from now. And to the people complaining saying that, I want Grand Prix mode back the way it normally was, and Versus mode isn't the same as a normal Grand Prix mode, I want to play my 4 tracks in order, damn it. Shut up. If you want a Grand Prix mode like the old games that bad, then go play the old games. But now it's time to get into the meat and potatoes of the whole game, and that's the Grand Prix mode. First off, we gotta talk about this character select screen. I honestly don't think it's nearly as bad as people are making it out to be. Sure, it's got nothing on the rest of the series, and yeah, it is a bit cluttered, and yeah, hitting sort only puts the costumes next to the character, even though maybe they could have just made it to where you click on the character and their costumes pull up. But I mean, it could be worse. So yeah, the character select screen isn't the best, but at least the character selection here is pretty good. I love all the little oddities and Bowser goons that they put in here for almost no reason, like Coin Coffer. How is he in this game but Diddy Kong isn't? It's absolutely amazing. I also really like the kart selection here. We got everything from the Dolphin Dasher to the Parabitty Kart and everything in between. Well, here we are, the Grand Prix Cups, which I will rank in a later video, and we got 8 to choose from, with each cup having 4 tracks in it. Every track in the cups are interconnected via transition tracks, and most of the time they actually do a pretty smooth job transitioning between tracks. Well, now that we're finally in the main portion of the game, let's go ahead and talk about the most important part of the game, the gameplay. I mean, it's Mario Kart, but obviously it feels different than the previous entries. For starters, there are now 24 racers, which is a huge change to the Mario Kart formula. It makes so many races feel much more intense and makes it harder to be in the upper half of the racers. I actually like this change a lot, as in all honesty, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was really easy, so I like the fact that the game is more challenging now. It also gives all these tryhards a reality check when they don't get first, and all you hear is them whine and complain. Oh my god, why did I have first? This game is awful, Nintendo is a dumb corporation! I mean, it's just amazing to listen to. There's also the new charge jump ability. If you hold the drift button while moving forward, you get to perform a nice little jump. This is a fun new ability and is normally used to do another new thing, which is wall riding. Another really cool thing that I'm glad they added to the Mario Kart moveset, and it's just as fun to pull off as you'd think it is. There are 2 things though that aren't a part of the moveset and were changed around a little bit, and that's the gliding and water tracks. There's no more selecting a glider in car customization, and instead some wings pop out of the side of your vehicle when you hit a glider ramp. Also, underwater tracks no longer exist, and instead you now drive on top of the water. I honestly never cared too much for the underwater tracks, so this change really doesn't matter too much to me. The main racing of the game feels a bit more floaty than in previous entries, is the best way that I can describe it. Drifting isn't as smooth to pull off, which can be frustrating after being used to Mario Kart 8 for so long, but as I've played longer and longer, I've gotten better at it. The tracks in the game are honestly hit or miss for me. I really like the ones that are amazing, but there are a couple tracks here and there that can not only be boring, but also feel a bit lazy, which is disappointing to see. Don't worry, as the next video you'll see on this channel is going to be a Grand Prix Cup ranking, so I'll keep my opinions on each individual cup to myself for the moment and save it for that video. Overall, while I do really enjoy the gameplay of Mario Kart World, there are a few things that I have to get used to and a few changes that they've made that I'm not too big a fan of. Don't worry, I'm not done yet, because we haven't talked about online mode yet. We got a few modes to choose from: the normal racing mode, knockout tour, and battle mode. I love that they added knockout tour to online play, because man do I love that mode. The online is just as good as ever, and I haven't experienced too many issues with the connection. Cool things here is that during downtime between track selection, you can race all throughout the open world. Like in other Mario Kart games, you get a selection of a few tracks to choose from, or an option to randomize the track you choose from selection. Sometimes though, you don't get to race on the actual track itself, and instead you get to race from the track you last did to the one that's selected. I just wish there were separate modes within the normal racing mode so that we could select whether we want to race on the intermission tracks or not. Other than that though, the online seems to run pretty smoothly and might be the best online mode in any Nintendo game, so hopefully in the future they make great online modes for their other games, especially Smash. So in conclusion, did Mario Kart World end up justifying its $80 price point? No, it didn't, but it doesn't matter because I paid $50 for it like a normal person. Yeah, in all honesty, the $80 price point doesn't matter too much because for most of the owners of this game, they just ended up buying the Switch 2 that had it bundled in anyway. There you have it, that's Jickbean's first impressions on Mario Kart World. Another short video again, my apologies, but you'll be getting 2 much longer videos in the future that I've been working on, so just trust the process. Once again, thank you guys for the continued support on the channel. I tried something a little different, analyzing, or whatever I did, with The Last of Us DLC, and for the most part you guys seem to enjoy it, so I might do some more non-Nintendo analysis in the future. If you guys enjoyed it, please be sure to like and subscribe so that we can hit my goal of 100 subscribers before I'm shipped off to college, and have a great rest of your day.